Sense.
You see it? I'm in shape right now, boy. I'm eating healthy. You know what I'm saying? Something you don't know nothing about. Drinking a sweet tea. Over there looking like
you know what it is? It's one of those packets you put in. It's Fit and Active. And I think in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, it's called Fit and Active. The brand is Fit and Active. I'm good.
Yeah. Just make sure I'm looking handsome.
Did you get a new Whoop strap?
Nope, this is just wet.
Okay. I got a new one since I think the last time we talked.
I know you always buy new ones, bro. You got a little obsession. He got like a little obsession with the Whoop.
You know what it is? It's not an obsession with Whoop. It's an obsession with accessories. I got a lot of watches, a lot of bracelets.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fresh and Fit podcast. I'm your host, your boy, Just Train James. If you don't know me as Just Train James, you know me as James Abrams, Yakub the Great. You know what I'm saying? All that. Okay? I'm here with my co-host.
You're so extra, bro. So extra. I can't. It's unbearable. Bro, at this point, they don't know who we are. My name is Chad, and that's James on my left.
Well,
on my
sometimes
right.
people aren't gonna always know who we are, bro. You know what I'm saying? They might get new subscribers, new listeners. Might know exactly.
We got our names on the thing too. We got our names on the thing.
Chad, you know, you are such a difficult person, bro. Like, I don't even.
I got an idea, bro. I got an idea.
You like being difficult.
We should introduce ourselves as Fresh and Fit. I'm fresh, you're fit. And this is the Fresh and Fit show.
I know.
Listen,
people, you haven't been that fit. You haven't been that fresh lately.
Oh, bro, first of all,
you haven't been that fresh lately.
I'm offended, bro. My level of freshness is different from yours. I keep it fresh. I keep it different.
My level of fitness is different from yours.
Facts. No question. No arguments over here, bro.
Bro. So speaking of freshness and fitness, bro.
Yeah.
Something I want to talk to you about. I like to wear short shorts. You know what I'm saying? When I'm training, doing my thing, that's the thing. I get teased about it all the time. But I feel like running shorts are like meant to be short. You know what I'm saying? So like for me personally, I like the 7-inch joints. I think 7 inches is cool. I'm still able to move. I don't feel like my balls about to can't come out the side of the damn leg or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel comfortable still wearing those. So I'm cool with the 7-inch joints. I think 5 inches is a little too short, and 9-inch kind of still remind me of basketball shorts. So what's your preference on running shorts?
So typically the 7-inch works, the 7-inch inseam or 7-inch length. Yeah.
Inseam.
That's what I usually rock with. Now, I've been thinking about trying out the 5-inch because
you're a freak nasty hoe.
No, I think that's what separates the people that really know what they're doing. And I'm like, man, the runners out there, like, you know, as I'm running more on the weekends with this group, I'm noticing guys rocking them, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should do it. Now, I should add though, what I'm wearing right now, I'm wearing these shorts that I ordered online from a place that I will not name, and they looked legit. I ordered them, got them, put them on, and I feel like Stephon Marbury doing an and one promo. These joints are so long, they're comfortable, they're long. So
So let me take it.
I prefer 7-inch.
From like Wish or something like that.
It was a company out in LA. I can't remember the name. It was one of those like real trendy. They have like they're fatigue basketball shorts. Okay. So they looked really, really cool. They're really comfortable, but just the length is a little misleading.
Do you like the joints with the liners attached? Like the liners, or the ones
Like
with
the
the
swim
mini
trunks? Like
no,
swim
no, no.
trunks?
It's the difference. So you got the ones that like the swim trunks. I kind of like those, but you also I kind of like them. But you also got the ones with the liners with the like the they come with like kind of like a I would want to say compression shorts attached to the
Oh,
short.
like I think chubbies are like those.
Yeah,
You're
chubbies.
seeing more shorts. You're seeing more. So I haven't
ASRP.
tried those. I haven't tried those. I think ASRV has those too. I haven't tried them. I actually, I'm about to tell myself a few times being on a rush, like from work to the gym. I've grabbed my swim trunks with the mesh inside, and then just free balled it because I couldn't,
But it's not really
trying
free
to.
balling though. It's not really free balling because you got the little mesh
Yeah.
little draws. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. It's not really free balling.
Okay. Well, it's like if there were levels, if there was like a radar, that would be right above not free balling and right below dangerously free balling.
Yeah, you do feel
So
a little, you do feel a little, I do be feeling a little exposed when I be having those.
like like my thought is like, man, what if someone got real grimy and decided to like,
Oh,
like that doesn't happen. But if you did, you're stuck like a duck.
yeah, yeah, you're just gonna be dick and balls out. DNB, DNB,
Oh.
baby. So, so my client hooked me up, bro, and bought me some AirPods. They're
Bro, I
downstairs.
thought you had aspirin.
No, see, you got the custom joint CSA James on it. Bruh, I got my own towels out here. I got my own towels, my own robe. Everything is custom. You know what I'm saying? They don't listen, they don't hold no expenses. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Like it's all good. So
They don't know what kind of monster they created over there.
they are creating
They
a
don't
fucking
know what they
monster.
did.
Bruh, they are creating a fucking monster. But besides that,
you're gonna come back to Cleveland. You're gonna come back to Cleveland, and your car isn't gonna have your name on the door, and you're gonna be like, "Where's my car?"
bro, if I don't have a chauffeur when I pull up, it's gonna be some motherfucking
I already
smoking.
told you, I'm gonna scoop you up, bro. I gotta scoop you up in the Jeep. I got you,
Yeah,
bro.
so look though. So these AirPods are so dope, man. I really like them. I wore them the last episode. You can kind of hear the microphone is good. I can hear really well. They have this noise canceling technology. This noise canceling technology, bro, that is so lit. Like it really works. Like you can hear everything. You press the little button, you hold on to it. You can't hear anything else but what's coming through your speakers. And usually I thought that was only applicable to like big headphones because I thought they did like with some type of sound or something. But these are small. They go in your fit in your ear really nice, and they got the adjustable things to fit in your ear. So I ran in them a few times and they didn't fall out. They're pretty
Can you
good. So
take
I
it
like.
out? Can you take it out of the case?
I don't have them in the case, man. They're downstairs. Left them downstairs. But please see previous episode. I wore them the whole time. Okay.
They get stage fright. Hey, so question, dude, what's the battery life on them?
Oh, battery life is good. Battery life is good, man. I think like I have them on all day. I probably can go about 2 days using, and then have to recharge them.
Okay.
About 2 days. Yeah.
So speaking of technology, I just got an alert today. I got my MPA, which is my monthly performance assessment from Whoop, and it's not that good, bro. I just had a you got to throw that out there real quick. I will say this: I appreciate being able to look back over my month and see some of the highlights, I guess. But my sleep performance
It's
is
trash.
definitely down. Yeah,
Mine's trash. Mine's is trash, bro.
yeah. I've actually been taking melatonin lately because
Bro, no, melatonin's cool, but I'm gonna tell you what to take.
cocaine.
ZMA, zinc magnesium. Bro, you will sleep so good, and you will have some good ass dreams too, bro. And your recovery will be great. It has some other like benefits to it as far as your performance. That's something I can't wait to get my hands on when I get back home because I'm gonna need me some zinc magnesium, bro, for sure.
See, I already have some weird dreams, bro, and I remember my dreams.
So, so my boy Mark. So today, guys, we got a special guest, a guy by the name of Mark Harris. He just signed on, man. Mark Harris is, to me, like one of the godfathers of fitness in Cleveland. He was he was a speed and strength coach back in the day. He helped me and my boys. He took me from a 4.9 to a 4.5 40. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He really helped me improve my speed and stuff like that. Great dude. He's doing a lot right now for the youth, man. He's training several NFL athletes, some soccer players, some basketball players, man, the list goes on. So I wanted to bring Mark on here so he can kind of talk about what's going on with him. And like, I think he has like some new youth, some foundations, some stuff he's trying to work on too. So let me bring Mark Harris in. Trainers and cleats joint.
The Don trainers.
Man, I might be the Bill Belichick of trainers. I don't know.
Definitely.
But we got a lot of guys doing stuff. Yourself, Philly Whedon, Ray Nail's doing stuff. You remember Ray Nail?
Yeah, Big Evan.
Yeah.
Evan.
And then Evan. Yep. Rambo.
Right.
Yeah. So we had a lot of guys that's come out. A lot of the young guys. We just started a raw talent in Columbus, Ohio. So Doran Grant's gonna be doing that one. And then I don't know if you remember Jason Earl. He's a little bit younger, but Jason Earl's gonna be running the raw talent in Fort Worth, Dallas.
Okay.
So we've done a good job of just doing what we have to do and guys being inspired.
That's what's up. But I want to go back to what you was talking about. You was talking about how you got started. You said you really didn't have any help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't have any help. And you know, my thing was like nobody believed in me really because I was smaller. They didn't give me an opportunity offensively because I came into high school at 90 pounds. So right at the gate, and I wasn't considered one of those elite guys in middle school. And so I was just determined to get myself better. So throughout that process, I just kind of watched how it was and my determination. And, you know, my having the father that I had with the foundation, I didn't give up. I was a really good wrestler, good football player, and I continued to progress. So when I got to college, it was time to go to college, no one helped me, but my dad. All I had was my dad and my will. So I went to a JUCO, and I picked up some things. And then I got a full ride. I had 43 offers after I left JUCO, but I chose Kent State because my girlfriend and my wife now 20 years. So actually, yeah, you know how that went. I told you about this. You know what I'm saying? But so what happened is from there, we started training. I started working with the Shaker. Every time I would come home from college, I would work with Shaker Heights football team. Okay. And I was helping guys. We started getting 2 guys. Nate Clements come out of that program. You know, then Jason Wright. Remember Jason Wright and those guys? And these guys kept me, Greg Pruitt Jr. And so they're like, I would make all our guys that was in school, I'm like, hey, we're going to come back and make sure we keep Shaker good. And so for a minute, Shaker was really good. And then what happens is I told Coach, hey, I want to go into business physics. I actually want to do this. He said it wouldn't work. He said this won't work because high school programs have their own bigger, faster, stronger programs. And so I said to him, no, it can work because you want me every summer to come work your kids. So obviously it's a demand. And he said, nah, it's different. I said, well, we'll see. And then one day I got picked up playing arena football, and I'm out in Rochester, New York, and trying to just play Arena 2 football. And then I get a phone call from Nate Clements and them guys, and I forgot the other young man name, and he was like, hey, I want you to work with me because I'm trying to make this team. And I said, well, I'm in Rochester playing ball. And it was like, hold on, man. Like, you where? And I said, I'm in Rochester trying to play Arena 2 football. And he was like, oh, man, I'm trying to pay you to come. Pay me. What? And then next you know, I started working with some guys. They came up there. And then it just, from that mentality, I said, all right, I'm going to start doing this. So I was charging like $10. And my wife was like, if you're going to be out here, you ain't charging no $10. And you know how Becky was. And Becky was like, nah. And so then I started talking with people how to do it. My agent got me incorporated. Never do that. Go LLC. But, you know, from there, it just grew. It was like, I never even marketed it. It was more so word of mouth. People found out there's this dude. And, you know, being at Speed and Strength, I was training Speed and Strength with Eric Lichter and Tim Robinson. I was training with those guys. So I brought the concept to them. I said, hey, what if we put turf inside this building And then we work on our skills and speaker. We were all, me, Tony Fisher, and what was the other running back? It was another real good running back. We were all trained at the same time. And we were like, man, we doing this 40 stuff, but and a pro agility, but we're not really working on what's going to happen at that showcase or that combine, which is the skill stuff, change direction, stuff that they couldn't provide because their facility wasn't built for that. That little narrow strip of turf wasn't built to get guys where they got to go. But they had this other room that was a basketball room that was just big old space for the basketball courts. Let's put turf in here and let's go. Man, them dudes laughed me out the building. They said, who you going to get to put that down? How you going to make money showing football drills? I'm like, you can do that anywhere. I said, no, you can't. We live in Ohio. There's a certain time of the year you can do this, and there's a certain time of the year you really can't. And that's the off season. So you add this, and they was like, they just laughed me out the building. So then I said, all right, I went and bought some space out the Force. James, that's kind of where we kind of meet.
Yeah.
And then next you know, it done got real big.
Bro, I got to tell the story real quick. So like my junior year in college, you know what I'm saying? Like I had worked my way up, you know what I'm saying? I'm down in Hampton. I'm doing my thing, you know what I mean? I'm playing ball. You know, I had worked my way back up to the starting rotation. I come home, I'm like, I'm about to train with Mark because Mark get me right, get me tight. You know what I'm saying? I bring one of my dudes, my little freshman with me. This is, I think, Joaquin, my boy Tremaine. You know what I'm saying? Yep. We thinking we in shape. We thinking we in shape, bro. Mark killed us. He killed us. Mark made me reevaluate. I was like, man, do I really want to go to the next level? Because this is good. Man, I was like, man, we was running, man. We was running so much, bro. Like, I ain't never felt so tired in my life, bro. I was like, bro. He's like, all right, this is what we got next. There's always something next. I swear that workout was like 2-3 hours, man. I was like, bro, I said, this what it's gonna take? But it definitely took that for me because I came in, I wasn't very athletic. When I met Mark, I wasn't very athletic, but I just was a hard worker, you know what I'm saying? And
very
Mark
hard worker.
Really helped me refine my skills and be able to transfer that into becoming a star player for my team. So I got to give him the most props, you know what I'm saying? The most props, especially for my development as an athlete, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mark, man, so I was on your page earlier, and first of all, I gotta give a shout out because I haven't heard those names, Tim and Eric, in a while. I used to, when I was in high school, they helped get me together my senior year before our track season. But I was on your page earlier, and I saw something that really caught my attention. So you recently over the quarantine, you got out on NFL Live. With Rich Eisen, Snoop, Deion Sanders, and one other notable that I'll let you explain. But how did you feel getting that shout out? Like, what did that moment mean for you?
Let me tell you something. That shout out, that was huge because what happens is, and James, you know, that's why I made a big deal. I want to make a real big deal about what you had did. The thing about it is, so often as a trainer, you don't really get the credibility that you deserve. And you have to be careful saying that because you don't want to seem like some guy who the kid owes everything to. But there's so many kids in this community in Northeast Ohio, and James will tell you, they owe their collegiate experience, sometimes their collegiate opportunity. Beyond that, just phone calls of me talking a kid down from different circumstances. Because when you're training athletes, you're not just training the athlete, you're training the soul of that athlete. And there's so much more that comes with that. You know, that the demons that he faced to being where he or she is. You have to understand, when I first trained Denzel, I've been training Denzel since 8th grade. A lot of people don't know that. I first met Denzel. Well, Denzel, I'm at church right now. I met Denzel with his parents here. Denzel don't go to our church. And so I worked with his brother first and helped him get in college. I got his brother a scholarship. Like, we don't just train these kids up, the football players. We go out and go get offers for these boys, whether it's full packages or not. So then Denzel's mom was like, Nicole was like, do this for Denzel. So we did it for Denzel. Denzel owes all of Ohio State to us. Denzel owes defensive back to his natural ability. Don't get me wrong, but he was a receiver, and he didn't like DB. I had to make him understand, and thank God the late Paul Ward saw me through that, because sometimes kids want to be offensive players and not defensive players. Because defensive back can be humbling. So with that being said, to get that shout out after all the stuff that we done, because his first year of the NFL, he trained with me. That second year, he didn't train with me, and I was offended. Cause I'm like, we was all pro first year in. Like, let's keep this thing going. But I have to understand that when you're from here and everybody has access to you, that could be a little tiring too. So when he comes back to train this year, that was really the first time that Denzel shouted out raw talent. His mama always shouted out, but Denzel, he's a quiet dude and he just do what he do. But when we went through some trials and tribulations this year, he had some things that had happened that I had a lot to work with this year with him. I had a lot to work with because he had some little injuries. So we had to work. And so I think he really enjoyed it so much of him rehabbing and rebuilding and getting back to where he was. He was proud because Denzel don't do that. And so to hear him do that on that stage, you understand, Deion Sanders is my idol. I met Deion Sanders twice. And both times I get mentioned to Deion Sanders through the best defensive backs I've ever had come through raw talent. That was Doran Grant from Ohio State, you know what I'm saying? And then going to be now this time with Denzel Ward. So to be a part of that conversation with those greats is just huge. It was just huge. Yeah. And it's an experience that a lot of trainers, a lot of your rec guys, that the coach, the rec coach, they don't get that because guys forget as a culture, we have not done a good job installing the culture of understanding to give back. When you make it, you come back, you shout out, you come back and help the kids that was in your same position. And that's what raw talent has always really been about, but I haven't preached that. So when you don't preach that and install that, you can't be so upset, my dad said, when the kids don't think the way you think. That's your job now as a trainer. There's a new level of training that you got to look at installing. Because at the end of the day, when you're training athletes, you're really making them a better person. Whether that's through athletics, but the sport is just a tool. But you supposed to, this is for me, I'm a child of God. So for me, this is a ministry. And even though it's not a ministry, it is a ministry. And I have an obligation. I don't have an obligation to force church, Jesus Christ on anybody. I have an obligation to be an example and to be the best example so they can be the best image of who they need to be. Like we as Christians, we say that we are of his image. And so they are of my image. And I think when they don't do well, like LaTuan Anderson, when things happen, I take it personal. Because that's the way you should take it, because you're trying to mold that young man or young lady into who they really want to be, their best version of themselves. So to get that shout out, man, was huge. It was huge, and it's overdue.
Yeah.
Overdue.
And I also got to add this, because you mentioned Deion and being your idol. It made me think about something that happened just recently. I'm sure you probably know about it. Both of you guys probably know about it. But he recently took the head at Jackson State, which was interesting because I think he's probably gotten a fair share of praise and ridicule over that. I'm kind of curious you guys' reaction on the new hire there.
It's fair. So let me explain that. That question is, man, you asked some powerful questions, man. So
not bad, bro. That's what we're here for.
So check this out. So I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you all. So, James, you went to a historical black college. And so right now, for the recruiting world, historical black colleges are not fair. They're not fair. Because you got to think about it. These historical black colleges, they don't have so much funding, right? And so that funding means recruiting money. Now, the football games and basketball games, they're always great turnouts because that's a show. But it has little to do about the sport. But more so, the sport provides a stage of opportunity for the bands, the cheerleaders, the congregating of just the student body, all having a good old time in a historical black college fashion, right? And I've learned that. I was jealous. When I took these kids on these bus tours, and I took them to Hampton and A&T, and I was jealous. I went to Kent State. And that was a good school. But at the end of the day, what happened with these historical black colleges, what Deion's going to find out, he has to make a real choice. Because the choice has been lately, okay, I'm coming here to coach. I'm using my name, Deion Sanders, which is going to bring attention. But what's going to happen is this. A lot of times at the 1AA level, Division II, but more so historical black college and 1AAs, they only, the high school recruiter, the high school recruit becomes extinct because they're trying to do quick fixes. They're going to try and go get these kids who are 5-star, 4-stars, who done slapped a girl at Ohio State or something, but got in trouble, or for whatever it couldn't work out. Let me go get that recruit and bring him over here. Versus coming in, getting the roots of a high school kid who can really play at this level, who deserves to be at that level. That 5-star recruit is going to replace that guy. All because he got in trouble somewhere, he's now available. That's a kid you normally couldn't get at that type of school, but you can get him now because of his position, because of his circumstance. So now what happens is Deion is put in a position where, okay, you're going to go around just go get quick fixes, and then you'll only recruit the kids from the budget reason in your state because it costs less for an in-state student than an out-of-state student. So when the Deion Sanders gets the ridicule of, okay, you're Deion Sanders, all right, is this going to be just about you and pumping out your name, or are you actually going to do colleges just, black colleges just to help them on that? Because I think he went and got Terrell Owens too. I heard a rumor about that. Yeah. Are you going to use your name to go get the top? You said what?
I think so. He did. He definitely. I think he got Terrell Owens for sure.
Yeah. So are you guys going to use your name to go and really fix what's going on there? Use your name to get more NFL dollars to come and fund the school, to really help the school? Or is this just about the Deion Sanders show? And I think that was a fair question. I don't think it was out of bounds. And the person, Bomani Jones, who presented that, I saw that whole thing. You know, Bomani Jones was correct. It was facts. And Deion, it seemed like he got a little offended by it. But that's fine. It's fair. He's a rookie coach, and he has to understand that that's a fair question. He won't find that out until actually gets his hands in it, because there's going to be kids from Ohio who don't get that opportunity to come to Jackson State or to any historical black colleges unless it was a kid who was from Ohio who went to a big Power 5 school and then, for whatever reason, have extra eligibility or couldn't get it done, and then they bring him in and replace those other kids. There's a lot of work to do at the historical black colleges because I don't feel they do a just job.
But something you mentioned earlier, like if I think exposure will change that culture. So I think as more kids get exposed to a black college experience and understand, like, yo, you can get full rides. You will get a full scholarship. It's way better than going to D2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you go to D2, it's mostly a white school, all white. You don't fit in, and it might or might not have your major. It's hard to get in, and it's expensive. So at least with a 1AA, like black college, you can go there on a full ride. And even Hampton, you know, when I went there, we won 3 black college championships. You know what I'm saying? So, but our coach, he recruited heavy and got transferred. So it's going to be, he's going to have to be able to get that good balance of homegrown talent and being able to manage the type of transfers he get. So like our coach, he didn't play. If you were a transfer and you came in and you weren't together, bro, you was out. We had a rule in Hampton called out by 5. Your behind would be out by 5.
I remember you talking about it. Yeah. I remember you talking about that. Out by 5. Yeah. Yep. Now let me explain though. The game has changed though, James. That was years ago. And I know you so young that you don't think it was that long ago. Dude, you probably been out of school for 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah. So let me explain something. The game has changed. And so really it's about in-state tuition and it's about transfers, JUCO transfers and college transfers. The kids, if you're not from that nearby state, because if you're from Ohio and you're actually good enough to play at that level, you're screwed. Because they don't want somebody who's good enough to play at that level. They want a 5-star, 4-star, who, for whatever reason, did not make it. The game has changed. They're not really grabbing kids because it costs the budget. And then when it comes to exposure, you know, the good thing about Raw Talent, we will travel to you.
Yeah.
But they don't like traveling to us. It's a waste of their dollars because for them, it doesn't make sense. So the kid who's really Division I talent in Ohio won't go to a historical black college as a rule now. He won't go there because he was gonna have to go to a MAC school. You know what I'm saying? So to get that tweener, they don't want a tweener. They want that guy, and they can get him. They can get that kid.
But I think like your camps and your program, like when you do your 7-on-7s and you take kids out, I think that will expose some
that's
kids
you.
to scholarship.
That's you. But if that kid's not on that bus, that kid's probably not going to get that opportunity.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Because a lot of these coaches don't go and do that. They don't take these kids and travel them. And that's where I got into. Well, I didn't get into with the coaches. That's where the coaches had a problem with me. They felt that I was not minding my own business, helping you all out. You know, that's big. A lot of high school coaches have a problem with Raw Talent because we help kids. But when I grew up, the community raised a child. And so as a community, I could drop names that would shock your world on who hates on me. And they my complexion.
I already know.
I would even say, and Mark, I would even say that just high school sports in general have become so like singular in the sense of like you barely even have the athletes anymore that are playing basketball, football, and running track. Coaches have gotten so like possessive of their athletes, and I think that's partly also what's damaged some of these guys and taking away their drive, or maybe even causing some type of injuries or just whatever. You know, when I was in school,
they're not trained.
multi-sport athletes, and you don't have that too often anymore.
Well, the game has changed because now you got all this. So I'm gonna be honest. You know, I'm an open book, right? And so I ain't gonna lie. I have been one of those guys who have told kids, especially their junior year. So if you have a track runner, and this kid runs 4.640, all right. So we're probably gonna get him at top end, probably about 4.48, 4.5. But he runs like 11 flat or 11.2 in a 100-yard dash. And this is his junior year. But he's 5'11", 170 pounds, defensive back. I've said to him, because in Ohio, track is so brutal that you run these hallways, then you got to be running outdoors, then you're pulling muscles, shin splints, and you're not even going to get a scholarship in track. Raw Talent, we have a type of facility that we can work on so much, and we can start really homing in on polishing your craft as a defensive back to give you the best opportunity. Because at the end of the day, you still got to show up to these camps. And if you run a 4.640, you're one of the fastest kids there. I don't care what state you in. A 4.6, 4.5 is still a very fast time of high school talent. Watch the NFL draft, watch the NFL combines. A lot of 4.5s, a lot of 4.6s still. It's a couple of 4.3s, only one or two 4.2s, but it's a bunch of 4.5s, 4.6s. And so I say to him, listen, you can go run track and you can go do all these different sports, play basketball. I get it. The 6'5", 6'6" lineman who's playing center for his high school team, he can barely dribble. I said, you're a Greek god on the football field. You're supposed to be a point guard on the basketball court. So, listen, have fun. I don't raise your home. Get as many sessions you can get in because your main focus is to get ready for the showcase. And my thing is, if you go to that camp and you're not ready, you have an issue. Now, when you're 6'5", you may not have too much of an issue because you're 6'5", 250, 260. So those kids don't have the same issue as that dime a dozen skill player position. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to recruit. The game has changed. And so when you talk about how all that's happening is you got 24/7 sports. You have scout.com. Everybody got a .com that's going to promote kids. And that plays into it. So kids start thinking about being in that position, in that world, and then these coaches, the QB coaches, that's happening now. And I like to say that we pioneer all this. I'm not trying to brag, I'm not trying to boast, but Raw Talent Sports really started all of this, at least in Northeast Ohio. And what happens is it becomes a singular focus. That's what you're saying on, well, let me just do this. And it's taken away from the total athlete of playing football. I wrestled and played football. I ran track until I realized that to get good in wrestling and make nationals, I gotta wrestle 100 matches in the off season if I want to be a dog. So I kind of let track go, and I ran at 10-7. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it was, that's kind of what happens. You just get compartmentalized in your thinking of, okay, for this time period I gotta be doing this. For this time period I do that, and they've gotten totally away from that. And the scout.coms of the world has kind of helped promote that. It's just what it is.
I think also what you said, you made a good point. Like if you having the conversation with that junior and laying it out like, okay, boom, 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 but here's your opportunity over here. See, when I was in school, it was like, you don't need to be doing that. You need to be over here with us. It didn't really lay it out for me in a sense, in a lot of guys I knew around me that that made sense. You know what I mean? I mean, like same thing when you make a purchase as an adult, a financial decision, you want to see the pros and cons. You don't want to say, yeah, let's go get it because it makes sense. No, you want to see, you want to be able to compare some stats. So I gave you that credit because it's not, I mean, the majority, I don't think it's like that for them. They're 8 years old, like, I'm a basketball player, I'm a football player, that's all I do. And it's like, we don't know what other kind of ability you may have because this has been drilled to you from day one. So I give you that credit, man, that you have the talent and the ability and expertise to lay that out for a kid.
Yeah, I just feel like Raw Talent has become so much bigger than, I never wanted to be just speed training. I wanted to be development. And that's honestly what made us more unique than all the other places, because nobody was doing, unless James tell me differently, nobody else was doing skill development training as a group. The competition level, forget about the coaching. And I know we had good coaches between myself, Coach Steelman, DeForest Hart. Like, we had some really good trainers, but the atmosphere, man, the competitive nature.
I had just mentioned that. I said, bro, I was like, bro, it was dogs in there. So like you had to step your game up. Like me as a linebacker coming through, like all the top running backs would be there, all the top wide receivers would be there.
Man.
If I wanted to learn, but I had to learn how to cover, man. And and that's so funny that you was so on that. You kind of was ahead of the curve because look at the game now. It's all passing. It's all passing. If you a linebacker and you just a thumper, if you can't play middle linebacker, you're not gonna make it.
I told you.
You're not gonna make it.
I told you, when I was at Kent State, I kind of saw some of the offenses that were being done. Only OU was running that ball. Like, they had this black quarterback. I forgot his name, but like Kareem something. But like only OU was kind of doing that. They was kind of get away from that, man. They was starting to throw that ball. And that nickel corner was becoming, I kept telling you, I said, linebackers are about to become extinct. If you can't cover, there's going to be a problem. You got to be able to stay on that field. And so learn all these things. The D linemen, if you look at the combines, the defensive linemen are doing defensive back drills, linebacker type drills, because they got to drop back and showcase their athleticism. The game has changed. It's getting faster. It's just crazy.
And so, all the time. If you're a DN, you got to be able to drop back. You got to be able to drop back as a DN. You know what I'm saying? You
got to be able to drop back. Well, here we go. So then guess what? So here go my biggest argument. Now remember, I don't know if you knew that, Frank Clark was a receiver. See, I met Frank Clark. I was forced to train at Glenville because I was forced to coach Glenville. I had an outing. Coach Andrews, the defensive coordinator at the time for Glenville, was starting to come up to our facility to train his athletes. I don't know if you remember that. And
I remember some Glenville. I remember some of your Glenville era.
We fell out. I had fell out with Coach Andrews. So I had a kid named LaTwan. Do you remember LaTwan Anderson?
Come on, man. You know I remember him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Twan, Twan's.
He was a quarterback or a wide receiver or a running back or something?
He was a corner and a wide receiver. He was everything. Yeah. He was whatever.
Yeah, I remember him.
Hey, I remember Twan beat Ignatius by himself. But I'm going to experience coaching at Glenville that year because Coach Ginn and my father made me. Because Twan had got into trouble at St. Ed's, and he goes over to coach. He goes to play at Glenville. So I go over to Glenville. They're like, Mark, you got to come coach at Glenville. I'm hearing the Twan going off in the background. I said, what is wrong with Twan? He done fell out with Coach Andrews. And so then they're telling me, hey, you got to come over and coach. And Twan said he ain't playing for Glenville unless you come over and coach. And I said, what? I said, Twan, get yourself. I'm not going to Glenville. Get yourself over there. Long story short, again calls me and says, Mark, I need you to come over and coach at Glenville. And I said, Coach, I got number of respect for you, man. But, your defensive coordinator, he did something. I don't respect what he did. I told him to his face as a man, and I just can't rock with that. I don't think it'd be a good environment. He said, so I said, Coach, I'm going to have to respectfully decline. You know what that man said? I'll call your father. We'll see what he say about that.
How you gonna do that? How you gonna call your daddy? How you gonna call your daddy? I'm a grown man.
I'm 30 plus, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, he called my dad and Reverend Matthews, CJ Dad. Remember CJ Dad? And next, the next day, I'm coaching at Glenville. But my point was, I meet Frank Clark. It was a need. Man, God don't make mistakes. It was a real need. So I'm over there, and this kid keep bothering me. Hey, my uncle said he played ball with you. My uncle, you gonna train me like you train Twan, these guys. And I'm like, all right, dude, we'll talk about it. So he comes over, and Frank was 6'3", 215, and he really could play receiver. But I said, dude, you're 6'3", 215, and I think you can run a 4.4. I said, come give me a half an hour of defensive back drills. And you can go do all the receiver stuff you want. Just give me my half an hour of doing some footwork, change direction, because you never know. I said, I think you're a hybrid, dude. He said, what is that? I said, a guy who could play many positions, offensively or defensively. And so I think the more options you give these coaches, the higher your recruiting status. Just trust me. And he did it. He would give my half an hour, and I swear they gave me a half an hour. They look at the clock. All right, Coach Mark, can I go do receiver drill? All right, go ahead. Him and Denzel both wanted to be receivers. And then guess what happened? Frank gets paid $100 million because he's a hybrid defensive end linebacker for University of Michigan to go now to be at the Kansas City Chiefs. He always been the Kansas City Chiefs. And Denzel is the corner that I always thought he would be better served as, because him being a 5'10", 150-pound receiver is a dime a dozen position. Now, he did run a 4.3, but that I knew that the corners would need to be becoming taller. 5'10 plus is what the schools were looking for. And I thought Denzel had the attributes to do it. And I guess I'm right. It is what it is. So, like, it's just having that insight. And all I'm talking about is knowing the game and having the insight is very important. If you're going to help a kid, you got to help a kid. And that even goes from telling them what position they need to be working on as well, and academically, letting the kid know, if you don't test well, you better have a very high GPA. So bust them books out. To tell them, to give them honesty about, hey, knowing your character, I'm not sure if this school is the best school for you. Now, I have to be careful doing that because I don't want to burn bridges with coaches. But I tell these coaches, I love these kids. And so I want to make sure that it's a good fit. And that may mean telling them not to go to your school. And you know what, Coach? You may end up thanking me for that, because that might not be a good fit, and you become frustrated. Because they get caught up in the numbers and the stats, but they barely know the kid. Right. They barely know the kid. You know what I'm saying? And we want to make sure the kid flourishes. So I try to have those real conversations with these kids.
Man, you got some big names under your belt, bro, that you helped out. I mean, that you've helped get contracts. I'm talking about I'm talking about Nate Clemens. I'm talking about Frank. I'm talking about Denzel Ward. Out of all the people you recruited, who's the most accomplished person that you've trained?
The most accomplished, I'm going to have to see, depend on what you mean by that. I'm a different type of dude. Football is a small part of it. If you're talking about from a football standpoint, I'm going to say it's a tough one. I love me some Jordan Maben. Do you remember Jordan Maben?
I remember Jordan Maben.
Running back, DB. One other guy thought he was a running back. Just such a great kid. To watch what he accomplished just as a man, just so humble. And that speaks volume to me as well. But, you know, Nate Clements, I mean, he was the first defensive back. He was the first highest paid DB in a long time. Like, that was, he set the record, so that was a good accomplishment. But I'm going to have to, you know, I want to say Denzel Ward, because you lose your father right before all this. Your dad died in the most, that moment could have crushed him, but it didn't. But I got to give it to Frank. Because Frank Clark, I watched him. So, you know, we were trying, you know, we was at Northfield Road in Warrensville, right? Mm-hmm. The forest. Frank didn't know how to catch that bus. Frank lived on Evangeline over by Collinwood, right? So Frank didn't know how to catch that bus, but he caught the freaking bus, right? And he would catch that bus, and it would end him over on Harvard and Northfield, right? So he's on Harvard and Warrensville Center Road. He would have to walk all the way from there, all the way down to Emory, right? That's a long walk by itself, let alone a long walk in a freaking blizzard. Because you know how Northeast Ohio is. Cleveland's got, it's snowing. He did not care. So one day I'm driving, because I live in Shaker, right? So I'm driving over, and I see Frank walking. I said, Becky, that's Frank. Becky said, pick him up. So I'm like, all right, Frank. I'm like, all right, man, I don't want to be late. But she said, pick him up. So I said, Frank, come on, get in the car. He said, who that? I said, Coach. Oh, Coach Mark. He said, I'm good. I said, Frank, get in the car, boy. It's cold. He said, Coach Mark, this my journey. My journey. He said, I'm good, Coach Mark, and I'm going to be there before everybody else. And Frank would be there 20 minutes for everybody else, making sure everything. I think he had a little bit of OCD, really. He did certain things. It was always a certain way. And that pattern, he knew. Frank, I dropped him off. Now, he'll let me take him home. He walked there, but I could take him home. And I took him home a couple of times. Every time I took him home, it was a mess. It was something at that home. And so the his foundation wasn't good at all. You know, good people, but just things were off kilter. And so, you know, for all he's been through, and then when he gets to the league, his father burns up in that funeral. I mean, in that house fire. His uncle, the kids. Only person who survived was his auntie. All he's done is lost every time he tried to gain. You know, and he still persevering. He's still persevering. And, you know, for a minute, him and I had a little bit of falling out because I didn't feel like I was getting the love back. And him and I talked about that. But there was a lot going on in a young man's life that he's being developed and molded and sculpted. And so, you know, to see him overcome those things and still come back and rebuild the relationship with me, and to still go ahead and achieve on the football field, to get paid $100 million, you know, and stay after it. When most kids in Cleveland, Ohio, and most hoods, period, would have not, it's been just too much for him to still persevere and make it. I got to give it to Frank. And that's not discrediting any of the other guys. There's more stories, but I got to give it to Frank.
Man, amazing, man. Thanks for sharing that, Mark. Thanks for sharing that. I have a whole new respect for Frank. You know what I'm saying? I always respected him as an athlete, but man, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. That's amazing. So like,
good kid.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember when Travis Kelce thought he was a quarterback? You remember Travis Kelce thought he was a quarterback? Remember
that? Yeah. Bro, I mean, Mark, I can't speak it enough, bro. You changed some lives, dog. You changed some lives, man. And I don't want to hold you much longer. But I want to know, like, what, just this last thing, like, what's some advice you would have for a parent that has a kid, you know what I'm saying, that they want them to go to the next level, want them to play, like, what's some of the steps that they need to take to get their kid to that next level? You know what I'm saying?
First of all, I would say the first thing you need to do is recognize, be aware, recognize. Being aware is not just being observant of your child, okay? Everybody thinks their child is the greatest. Being aware is understanding how this is going to work. So that means you have to understand how coaches recruit, how kids in that position looks. So if you're, say you got a 5'8" running back at your school, at your house, and he's explosive. You need to expound on his footwork, expound on his speed, because when you're that short, you better be that much faster and stronger and explosive. And you can't want it for him. You got to pay attention to that. Is it the kid want it or do you want it? Because if the kid don't want it, I don't care what it is. When he meets James Abrams in that pocket and he gets hit by James Abrams, he gonna make a decision. Everybody been hit in that way where you had 1,000 thoughts come to your head and you like, do I want this? You can't want it for him. So you have to understand the situation, understand recruiting, understand not just your baby, and then you can't want this more than your child. You got to make sure your child is not complaining to go to workouts. If your child is complaining to go to workouts, you need to step back and look at how much you're paying. I have lost clients being real with them. I tell them, this place ain't for everybody. It really isn't. You think there's the places you want. I said, bring your kid here and you're going to find out a lot about your child. And you can then know how much money you need to be spending in this direction. So I think the best advice I can ever give a parent is be aware of what it takes, not just your child, and be aware of how much your child wants this. If your child don't want it more than you, step back. That doesn't mean she can't accomplish great things. It's just right now they're not mentally ready. And all you're going to end up doing is falling out with your child. Because the relationship y'all supposed to be having, y'all not having, because you trying to force something that she or he is not ready to receive. And it's what it is.
Hey man, speaking of falling out, you talking about James. We were we were in the gym one day before a workout, and we were just, I don't even know what we were talking about. And this dude just gave me a little ground kick or some kind of kick straight to the quad. My whole leg shook, and I fell straight to the ground. So yeah.
Hey, man, that dude.
Man, that's one thing. I could hit, but Mark had to teach me how to cover, man. I could thump. That was one thing, but Mark took his time with me, man. Mark took his time with me and helped me really get my footwork together, because all I could do was hit. That's all I knew how to do. But then Mark came through and got me together, man. So, Mark, we'll let you go, bro. But
yeah, I'm with you. I hear you.
Tell people where they can find you, how they can get in touch with you if they need to get their kids bigger, faster, stronger, how they reach you.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank you all for having me out here. It's a great opportunity. Number two, James, God bless you, man, for donating that money. Just send that money out of your heart. Hey, you don't know how much I needed that, man. I want to help these kids out. That's the third thing. The segue is I started a foundation called Train Up a Child. And what that foundation is going to do is raise money for kids from at-risk communities. Therefore, they can receive the training that you all have received. Now, everybody can afford it. And then you were scratching to make it happen. We was working out deals just to make it happen. And there's so many kids out
Hey, don't tell everybody my business. Don't tell everybody my business, dog.
Are you there? Are you there?
Yeah, we here. Hey, bro. Hey, don't expose me like that, Mark. Don't expose me.
Hey, but look. Real talk. So it's called Train Up a Child, Train Up a Child Foundation. And you guys can go to that and donate money to help raise money for kids to get the proper speed training for their sport. It's not just football, it's girls too. So proper skill development, because that's so sad when you see these kids playing from these Senate League schools, they come play these suburban schools, and these kids aren't equipped. If it ain't basketball, they really aren't equipped. And even at basketball, they're not equipped. You can tell where a kid's been training for a long time when they're not. And then we're also gonna be helping these kids with academics, helping them get the academics, being aware of their academics, therefore they can reach out. We're also raising money to help put kids into historical Black colleges. African-American males graduate 30% more coming from historical Black colleges. That's not segregating kids to be experiencing, but it's just helping kids understand everything. Now, when it comes to the for-profit, rawtalentsportsllc.com, you guys get your kids registered up. Right now, because of the COVID, scholarships are scarce. We're throwing a showcase on October 25th. I got a bunch of schools coming. You know I love doing that. Getting these schools coming out there we want kids to be a part of this, and most definitely, we got some big things going. So you can reach me at rawtalentsportsllc.com, and then for the non-for-profit, which I really care about the most, Frank Clark just gave $2,500 to help out starting some things off. Go to tuacf.org, tuacf.org, and you guys can donate money to that. James, I really appreciate you contributing to that, because that was huge, and you helped out some kids. I'm training a bunch of John Marshall kids who cannot afford this, and we're providing transportation and everything, because these kids can't get it. So I got a session tonight at 8 o'clock helping out kids from the inner city schools, because they didn't even have a fall football season. You know what I'm saying? So recruitment is shot for them to a certain degree. So we got a lot to do, and I hope I didn't waste you all's time, man.
Bro, no, not at all, bro, man. Bro, this is probably my favorite interview so far, man. I thank you, bro. You brought the heat. You brought the heat today, man. So
Mark, man. Mark, speaking from a guy who came out of the Senate Athletic League, I want to thank you, because exactly what you're talking about is so true. There's so many talented guys that just don't have the resources to connect with a trainer or a facility or even know it exists. So I appreciate you, bro. Because we always talk about like guys that went to a school and could have been something if they were in a different kind of program or some kind of training that they just didn't get. So, man, I appreciate you. And,
yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter, but at the same time, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's to protest and to talk about it is great. To make awareness is great. But now, what are we doing? And so I'm providing something. We're going to be doing volleyball training, basketball training, and the whole time, culture, leadership development, work opportunities. We're going to build these kids holistically. But I can't do it without the resource, without the funds. So we need people to donate to this organization, because we're going to pay the staff. I don't want volunteers. I want to pay staff and give these kids the best. And that's what they deserve. That's the problem. We ain't giving it, and they think we think they're blind. We think kids know. One kid gave me the hug, and I was scared because of COVID, but I also was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Because it's real. These kids know when they're not getting the best. And for so long, these kids don't get the best. It's not fair. It ain't right. And it ain't just Cleveland. That's Maple Heights now. That's East Cleveland. That's even Shaker. It's Bedford. A lot of these kids in more minority communities, the priorities are off. And it ain't their fault. They didn't ask to be in this world. It is what it is. So as a community, as a leader, as a man, as a woman, what are we doing to reach back and help these kids? I ain't on it. Not on my watch. When I die, I want a big funeral. I wouldn't mind having a couple million. But at the end of the day, I want to have a big funeral that my friends, that my family, my daughters, now I got a son. He's autistic. But, at the end of the day, I want him to be proud of his father and what we did in his community. So I want to be everything like my father and better. So that's what it's all about. Give me an MLK funeral. I got to do some MLK work. This is what it is. So we got work to do, man. I'm praying for y'all. I appreciate it. And you guys make sure y'all just keep me in mind. Have me on anytime you want, man. Let me know anytime, James. I'm coming.
All right. Bet, man. Thanks, Mark, bro. Appreciate you, man. Yep.
Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Chad, man. That was amazing. I'm grateful for my boy, Mark.
It was. It was so funny because you don't really know how the show is gonna go, and sometimes depending on the guest, can their energy can lead how the show goes, and I think Mark is no exception to that. His energy, his passion, obviously is unquestionable, and it's the product. Like the proof is in the pudding, so to speak.
Absolutely.
And this was so crazy, bro. This is what's so crazy. I finally wanted to mention some UFC type stuff today. So I'm about to anyways. I don't care. Bro, I'm watching the highlights last night. I don't even know these guys' names. I know you do. They each got knocked down 3 times. And then I think in the 5th round, oh man, I don't even know these guys' names. Each one though got knocked down 3 times within like 2 or 3 rounds. Finally, the one won by knockout in the maybe 5th round. But when he fell to the ground, bro, you know how when you're so done, like your body contorts in a way that when you're conscious.
You bend back.
The way his knee bent backwards, I was like,
But the thing is though, Chad, a lot of those guys do jujitsu and all type of stuff like that. So their joints and stuff limber. You know what I'm saying? They can bend and stuff like that. So it's okay. But I'm trying to think. It's probably Israel Adesanya versus Kelvin Gastelum as the fight I'm thinking that you might be thinking about. Was it
sounds about right?
guy?
Because when I saw these guys' names, I'm like, there's absolutely no way I'm gonna pronounce their names on the show.
Was it a tall black guy and like a shorter white dude with dark hair?
It was, I think it was, okay, here you go. De Castro and Felipe.
Oh, that fight just happened recently. That just happened like I think last night.
It was last night. I'm talking about last night.
No,
Wait, hold on.
That
can't be it. That can't be it either.
Heavyweight.
I don't know, bro. Do you know who you're talking to right now?
Were they big boys? Were they big? Were they some like fat?
Not really. Not really. Not like Stipe big. No. Or DC, not like that, but I don't know, bro. All I know is
listen, I don't like your DC slander. You talk about DC's body and how he built, and it's not right, man.
Cause you said, was he a big boy? And I said not like Stipe or DC.
I know, but I feel like he was saying something about DC, and DC don't deserve your slander about. I know he got the ultimate dad bod. I know he got the ultimate dad bod, but you kind of be coming for DC a little bit, bro. He's a champion, bro. He's a champion.
Hey man, I need you to get off DC's D.
I'm not on DC's D, but I'm just saying you have to put some respect on
DC's D hard.
Put some respect on DC's name, bro.
Hey man, speaking of that, bro, we got another bike ride coming today. Let me tell you something about Cleveland, bro, because you're shortly headed back on your journey back home. Cleveland is officially, the weather is officially shifted.
What's the temperature?
So today we're looking at like 60 and a high chance of rain.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm getting calls, I'm getting texts like, hey, are we still riding today? I'm like, yup.
Yeah, that's what's up.
We are still a go. But yeah, man, yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a good chance to talk to Mark.
So yeah, I'm not going. Listen, it was a couple things I want to talk about, but I'm not even gonna go there. We out. You know what I'm saying? So guys,
I say yeah.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, man. If you like what we putting out, you like what we doing, share with your friends. You know what I'm saying? Send them the link. Chop it up with us, man. We just trying to give a platform to a lot of these trainers and athletes. We also trying to help you guys be as fresh and fit as possible, man. You know what I'm saying? We want the best for you. So help spread the word. We're at Fresh and Fit Pod on Instagram. Check us out there. You got your boy Chad at Smoking Cyclist. You got me at Just Train James. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm not only the freshest, I also got the best Metcons. I just want to let y'all know, Chad was hating on my Metcons, then he saw them, and now he wants some, but he can't get them. You know what I'm saying?
Unless I'm a size 6 or a size 15, yeah. I'm out of luck.
Yeah, I got them bad boys, boy. But y'all, man, I thank you guys so much for the support and the love. And again, thank you, Mark Harris, man. If you don't hear it enough, bro, hear it from me, bro. Like, Mark, one day, bro, I was just chilling. I was thinking, like, about people who blessed me and who helped me. Like, I wouldn't have made it to Hampton. I wouldn't have made it to, because I went to Akron first. I wouldn't be half the athlete I am if it wasn't for Mark Harris. So, and I know, like he said, I was scraping and putting him. Sometimes I was late. Sometimes I didn't pay. You know what I'm saying? He just let me work out. And I knew it was frustrating, but he gave me a chance, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so I just sent him like $1,000, dog. You know what I'm saying? It was in my heart to just bless that man, send him a grand. I was like, here, bro, thanks for everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I feel like doing. And that's I have a problem with some of the dudes from Glenville, because I feel like they do not do that, bro. I don't see them giving back at all to their school. Because to me, Bump Taylor Stadium should never look as raggedy as it does. You know what I'm saying?
They should be the only school in Ohio that has a fully functioning dome.
You got this. You got so many NFLers. You got so many NFLers, so many people from there, bro. That school, that stadium, everything should be lit. Should be top of the line. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's kind of my frustration with some of those cats, man. But he said the right thing, man. His job was to give back, and that's what we trying to do with this podcast. That's what we trying to do with our lives. I know me as a man, as a coach, I'm always trying to give back. You know what I'm saying? So Chad, I need you to give me some motivation for the rest of the week, man. What's my motivation for the week, bro?
That was for me to get them. Oh, bro. Okay. Don't be corny.
See, I was just about to say, usually you come up with a corny joke or something, you know what I'm saying? But now I challenge you to be motivational, because I want to bring some positivity out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So one thing that one thing that I think we all have inside of us is the ability to make the right move or the right call, right decision. And a lot of times we ask people for their advice, and really we know, because I really believe that the Most High has given us and instilled in us the wisdom to decipher between right and wrong and what we should be doing with a lot of things when we decide to ask other people. So when you feel like you need to stop, or you don't know the right move or the right call, trust yourself and just go after it, and then live with the consequences instead of just sitting still. And I know you do that already, because you move and you produce and you make, but a lot of people don't. So
that's so funny you said that, because I was just thinking about that today, bro. I was thinking, like, I know so many people that always ask for somebody's opinion. What's your thoughts? What's your opinion on this? And I was thinking, like, I never ask for anybody's opinion. I just do stuff, and then it is what it is, like, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. But don't ask, like Chad is saying, don't ask for people's opinion, man. Follow your heart, trust your God, know what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? And understand that you're here for a purpose. So, bro, big props to you, bro. Chad, I want to tell you, man, great job today. Encourage you, man. Hope you have a safe run. Enjoy your cigar smoke. I don't know if I'm gonna smoke a cigar, because I had a lot of shit.
It's a bike ride.
A lot of shisha this weekend, so I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? And I just did those 100 burpees, so I'm good. My lungs is
What was your time for the 100 burpees?
I'm not telling you my time, because I want you to try to do your own thing. I'm not telling you my time.
So real quick, and we'll talk about this in another episode too. 216 Muscle, Benny, one of our first guests on the show, challenged both of us to 100 burpees with 35-pound dumbbells. So James already knocked it out. It is my plan to knock that out ASAP, probably early this week. I know Benny's time. Benny told me, but I'm not going to tell you because you're not telling me. So,
I know Benny's time too.
Oh, yeah? Okay. All right.
My time was better.
Benny, I'm saying this right now. My time better be better than yours.
Oh, smoke.
You got me in benching, squatting, anything lifting of any kind. I got it between the burpees, bro.
True. That's true. Benny.
And also shout out to Benny for getting things going with his own gym. I'm always seeing footage and pictures from it, so it looks like what he's doing is really providing for people, and that's really what it's about, man. Giving people a chance to better themselves. So shout out to Benny, 216 Muscle, and we appreciate him. He's definitely a family part of the show.
Yeah,
show family, show family, whatever.
Definitely family, bro. So I can't wait. I can't wait to get home and get some rec with you guys, man. Ooh, I can't wait, bro. You know what I'm saying? Get some smoke with my guys. You know what I'm saying? But peace, King. Blessings to you, bro. We out, man.